Welcome to today's show, Mr. Francis Wainaina, the product manager at Seacom East Africa. My name is Wandiri Getogo for the Economic Weekly podcast. We are a podcast looking into traditional and digital economy and attempting to create a fusion between the two. The aim is to explore e-commerce, payments, gig economy, cloud services, and cryptocurrencies, and present to our listeners the opportunities and challenges in these new landscapes. Welcome to the show, Mr. Francis Wainaina.
Thank you, Wandiri. It's a pleasure to join the team and to have the chance to share some of the thoughts that we have.
Briefly take us through the cloud computing landscape in Kenya and East Africa in general.
Right. So I think cloud computing in this region, that's Kenya and East Africa. We have been going through evolution. And I think this journey started, in the earlies of the year 2000, where that time, very few use cases, existed for cloud. Then hopping on to the 2010, I think new use cases for cloud computing and more solid ones, began to come up. I think at the place where we are now is we've got substantial usage of cloud. And I think if you look up some of the statistics that we do have now, show that more than 20% of both public and private sector entities have already moved to the cloud. So I think where we are now is there's a bit more clarity on where we are going, both from consumers, that's customers and partners, and I think also the supply ecosystem has also evolved. There are more options now. There are more products available, and there are more players willing to have the cloud computing discussion.
Interesting. I like that. I like the point about us having more options, which may imply that consumers are getting value for their money. One of the silver lining from the pandemic in 2020 was a shift to remote working, as firms allowed staff workers to work from anywhere. In what ways will you say this drove up cloud adoption globally?
I think the coming up of the pandemic was some sort of a blessing in disguise for technology. And I think the issue of cloud computing is something that we've been trying to put out there to customers, to businesses. And I think what COVID came to do is to sort of make our work easier, to say that the options that we have already been speaking to the market about can now be picked up and used as a solution to the COVID problem. So I think the main thing with cloud lies in its power, in its features. I think we saw an opportunity and an opportunity for people to access their platforms, their businesses from anywhere, which was a big reward that came up with the cloud enablement. I think we also saw that the business continuity aspect that we have always been able to say that cloud can offer, being put to tests, and being able to offer that utility. So a lot of businesses that were not previously on the cloud platform, have moved to the cloud. Those that had cloud platforms operating, from offering their enablement to users from the office, are able also to extend that capability to users. And I think in totality, that offered, solid business continuity to all the entities that chose to use the cloud, the available cloud platforms.
Interesting. Did this cloud adoption drive hit the local firms in East Africa?
Sorry, I didn't get you correctly.
Did the cloud adoption that we saw post-pandemic hit local farms across East Africa?
Yeah, if you're asking about whether there was an improvement or there were more people who came up to the cloud,
Yes, yes.
yes. The answer is definitely yes. We've seen more people prefer to use now available software applications. We've seen more people also, choosing to now not even return to their old office setting, and choosing to use available cloud services. For example, today Zoom has become everybody's mention when we talk about how do we collaborate and how do we still continue to do business even during this difficult time.
Interesting. I like that the pandemic really pushed a lot of our online. And also the point about business continuity. I think the pandemic was an eye opener to businesses on some of the practices they should adopt. Lack of information about cloud services is a barrier to cloud uptake in Kenya. What measures is Seacom taking to bridge the information gap and create awareness on cloud?
Okay, so I think as we mentioned before, is that the market is at a much more ripe position, where we've got some of the needs of customers becoming more clear to them, and also suppliers being available also to offer that solution. I think though there still exist some barriers to how we do this adoption, and I think most of these barriers have to do with availability, for example, of true broadband solution. And this is what Seacom is really, first of all, enabling that this true broadband is actually available. Secondly, it's to do also with making available a bouquet of product offering that customers would have options to address their needs. So Seacom also, we do have many variants of solutions regarding cloud. Today, if you speak to us, we are able to offer your endpoint protection. We're also able to keep your application safe. We're able to give you applications backed by our partners, for example, Microsoft and Amazon. So our place really beside that is also just to make sure that we are engaging, sending out the information. You can look at all our media handles from our websites, from our news channels. We are continuing the story and continuing to have all the relevant conversations that indicate our interest to drive usage on the cloud.
Interesting. I like that the uptake in social media has really brought the population which was probably not under consideration online, and Seacom is using social media to reach such people and provide their solution. I don't know. Probably you could highlight some of the bouquet of products you offer.
Yeah, so I think we've got both large products that are targeted to the large enterprises, and in here we are looking at and we have already been able to deliver solutions together with our key partners. Key to mention here is we've partnered with Microsoft. We have also partnered with Amazon, just to make sure that we are able to offer large-scale type of solutions supported by already existing public cloud providers. The second level of offerings that we do have also is addressed to the mid-market enterprise. And I think here we are looking at, entities that, have got, 10 users, 15, 20, 30 users, being able to have, an Office 365, service, being able to, for example, protect how those PC and their laptops, are doing businesses online. Largely, I think we will continue to play in those two spaces. And I think the most important thing is that we are doing this securely. We have also a bit additional, solutions just to make sure that the data integrity of what our customers are doing online is also, observed, and their data and transactions are secure.
Interesting. Software as a service is gaining traction as firms create software distribution models that allow third-party providers host applications and make them available for customers on any network-connected device. What are the trends you are expecting in software as a service going forward?
All right. So I think when you think about software as a service, the most simplistic use case is a simple application that is running off a cloud platform somewhere. A classic example, for example, is Gmail. Everybody's on Gmail. People are doing business on Gmail, and its availability, is commendable. So I think if you follow that thought process to think about what will be the trend of applications, I think that since businesses are continuing to have their own unique needs and their own unique requirements about what they want their businesses to do, I think there is going to be a trend for developers, and IT companies to continue to avail more applications, more solutions, to address that need. So the second trend that I think we are going to see is people getting interested in the value of the data, the value of data that they are hosting and holding in your organizations. And I think here we are talking about artificial intelligence, we're talking about data analytics. What is it that can be done with that data to provide and to become a valuable asset to the organization? So there is going to be more and more demand, more and more desire for people to understand the data that they hold and what value that data will mean to the organization. Lastly, I think that most of the transactions now have moved to the mobile, handheld sort of devices. And I think as we go into a much more robust online digital market, we expect to see more of these applications and more of these services being delivered using, a mobile phone. So I think in the days to come, we will start to see a lot of mobile fast services. People trying to make sure that that they can reach their customers through the mobile, application-based services.
Interesting. I really like the point about the mobile fast solutions, which is something that has picked up during the last decade, and we really look forward to see what other mobile solution can come. And also the thing about value of data, that is still coming out in big firms such as Google and Facebook, who are the major data miners, but other firms are also adapting the same. Is Seacom offering software as a service? And if so, what are some of the products?
We do offer, more of software services solutions. As I mentioned earlier in the interview, we think that our target market that lies within the mid-market enterprise is where we will see more and more use of software type of services. And I think here we have solutions for, devices. How do you secure your laptops? How do you secure, your servers? We've got solutions that do that. We've also, I think, just as of last year, also worked with Microsoft to avail the Office 365 solution. In here, I think we are looking at the whole suite of Office enablement, from being able to, avail tools that just make sure that users are able to do their work online.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis. That's all we have for today's episode.
All right, thank you very much. So we hope to continue the conversation.